Hi there, Simon from simonwoods.com here. I'm on sparkling form today because I've got 5 sparkling wines, 5 different countries. First one I've got, Prosecco. Now, sometimes for me Prosecco is like the Pinot Grigio of the sparkling world. There's an ocean of rather bland, really banal wine, but then there's a little layer on the top which is absolutely fabulous, and I'm hoping this falls into that second bracket. It's from Bisol, one of the quality pioneers of Prosecco. It's from the Cartizze vineyard, 2008 vintage. Let's give it a whirl. Yeah, I mean, some Prosecco, it's almost like sherbet juice. It's just too simple and frothy for its own good. Great if you have it in Venice, but take it out of Venice and it's not quite the same. Now that's a bit different. It's got some of that rounded, peachy friendliness, but then just when you think it's going to sort of descend into creamy Bibendum, there's this edge of almost like an earthy, clay-like mineral edge that comes through, dries out the finish, and keeps you wanting to come back for more. So I will do. Yeah, pretty nice wine. Maybe a bit pricey. I think it's about £18, but certainly it's a level above your standard. It's probably 2 levels above your standard Prosecco, and what I like, I'm left with this a nice finish. It makes me want more of that. Let's see if the second one does. We're way down in Chile now with Connoisseur. Connoisseur is part of the Mammoth Conchi Toro group, but operates as a separate winery and does pretty well. Now this is their Brut, and it's made from 2 of the classic sparkling wine grape varieties, Chardonnay and Pinot Noir, but they've also put some Riesling in, and I imagine the idea of that is to give it a bit of an aromatic lift. I'm never quite sure Riesling and sparkling wine, sometimes aromatics and sparkling wine, you almost get too much of a good thing. Oh, it's from the smelliest wine region in the world, the Bio Valley. Poor joke, I know. Woof, golly. Now, there's something of that toasty citrus fruit of Riesling that's really just jumping out at you. I don't know whether it's a good thing, almost like sweet and sour food just going roo, roo, roo. A bit of me thinks I wish they'd almost like left it just as Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. It's almost like there's a battle between 2 wines going on in there. There's quite a lean, elegant one that is restrained, but then there's this quite bouncy Riesling character that's going, me, pick me, pick me, pick me. Nearly there. I think work in progress. I'd like to see that with less Riesling, probably no Riesling. Third one, we are on Cava now from Spain. Reina Cristina from the huge Codorníu winery. I don't know if they're certainly in the top 2 size wineries for Cava in Spain. And Cava is made from, traditionally it's been made from 3 grape varieties, Parellada, Macabeo and Xarel·lo. And this one has got those 3 in. They make up about half the wine, and the other half is Chardonnay. So it's 2007 vintage. I'm not sure what vintage the Connoisseur was, but I'm trying to do them in age order, so I think this would be maybe 6 months or maybe 18 months younger than the, older than the Connoisseur. And it does smell a little more, yeah, relaxed. Not trying to bound out of the glass like Tigger. Nice wine. What I like about it, it's got, Cava has got this what I call lemony earthiness, almost like a clay-like character with citrus fruit. I think so that there's some cheap Cava which is okay, and if you can get it at £3 a bottle you can hardly complain about it, but you move up a couple of levels and you get these ones that have managed to combine richness with this earthy restraint and this lovely lemony edge around it. This almost takes those, adds a bit more class from the Chardonnay and the extra bit of time. And I know it's not an old wine, but It feels a bit more relaxed, confident, mature than a lot of the younger Cavas. I like that. I like that a lot. Number 4, Crozer, 2006 from Petaluma and Piccadilly Valley, which is part of the Adelaide Hills. It's 60 odd percent, does it say? Yeah, 63% Pinot Noir, 37% Chardonnay, so about 2/3, twice as much Pinot as Chardonnay really. And this smells quite a different style. The Codorníu was quite fresh and lively. This has almost got like a cheesiness to it, which I do quite like a little bit of it in sparkling wine. It shows that they've not been too anal retentive in the winemaking. They've maybe not been too bothered if a little bit of air gets in there, the wine oxidises slightly, because you get, as it ages, you get these interesting, like bready, buttery, biscuity, bit of chocolate character coming through here, dark chocolate. It reminds me a bit of Bollinger, and no surprise then that Brian Crozer, actually, I think he'd left Petaluma at this point. He now makes wines with the guys from Bollinger at a winery called Tapa Napa, and I think Jean-Michel Cars from Cépages is involved too. Yeah. It's one of those, there's lots of rich flavours, and then it's got a waistcoat on, holding it all together. You know, you see those people whose shirts sort of go like this, and because they've got a bit too much weight, but they're really well dressed, and you know that there's a nice full body there, but someone is reining it in. It's not too bloated, but it's got a really nice richness, chocolatey, maybe a bit of citrus, certainly lime coming through. Do you remember chocolate limes? That character very strongly coming through here. That little bit of oxidation is adding a savoury note that I find really appealing. It's not as classy maybe as some of the champagnes that try to do it in that style, but it's a fraction of the price. For me, I like those previous two. The Codorníu and the Crozer, I think they're really classy. Final wine, we are on Champagne now, and as you know, Champagne is made from 3 grape varieties: Chardonnay, Pinot Noir and Pinot Meunier. Well, this one's called Cuvée de 6 Cépages, in other words, blend of 6 varieties. So it's got those 3 in, but it's also got 3 others: Arbin, the well-known Arbin, the equally well-known Petit Meslier, and final one, Pinot Blanc, a bit more famous. But did you know that you could use those in Champagne? Not a lot of people know that. So a blend of 6 grape varieties, 2004 vintage from Champagne Moutard. It's quite, talk about Moutard, it's quite muted on the nose. I don't get an awful lot coming out of there. It's the oldest wine. Maybe it's oldest, the most subtle, but certainly I find it very difficult to smell anything here at the moment. Well, it's an interesting flavour. It's certainly the shyest of the wines here, and it's got like a creamy, herby edge, but not a huge amount of flavour. And I would like it to almost have like either a bit more vif, a bit more élan, because it feels quite stolid at the moment, and there's no maybe age will benefit it, but at the moment it feels a bit flat. Yeah, not sure there. I think, yeah, I prefer the Crozer and the Codorníu, but interesting that someone's not just using the 3 classic champagne varieties for their champagne. So maybe look out in the future and see if anyone else is doing the same. See you soon.